Over 2,000 years ago, a text was written that describes a place at the ends of the earth, a frozen prison sealed under ice, where beings of impossible power were locked away. That text was banned from most versions of the Bible, and its description matches only one place on modern maps: Antarctica. This is the Book of Enoch. And what it describes about the ice at the bottom of the world is stranger than anything the mainstream Bible ever mentions. The book was known to the earliest Christians. It was quoted directly in the New Testament. Then it was quietly removed from the biblical canon. And for over 1,500 years, most of the world forgot it existed. The Book of Enoch is attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. It was written roughly between 300 and 200 years before Christ. It survived in only one place: Ethiopia. In the 18th century, a Scottish explorer named James Bruce brought a copy back to Europe. When scholars finally translated it, they discovered something impossible. The book described events that Genesis only hints at: fallen angels, giants walking the earth, a war between worlds, and it described exactly where the fallen ones were finally imprisoned. A place of ice, a place of darkness, a place at the very ends of the earth. According to Enoch, 200 angels descended to earth. They landed on the top of Mount Hermon, on the modern border of Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. They were called the Watchers. The Watchers took human wives. Their children were the Nephilim, giants. The mainstream Bible mentions them only twice, briefly, in Genesis and Numbers. Enoch describes them in terrifying detail. The Watchers taught humans forbidden knowledge, metallurgy, astronomy, the making of weapons, the mixing of poisons, practices that Enoch says corrupted the entire ancient world. God's response was the Great Flood. But before the flood, the Watchers themselves had to be punished. They could not simply be killed. They were something else entirely. So they were imprisoned. In chapters 18 to 21 of Enoch, the prophet is taken on a tour of the universe by the angel Uriel. Uriel shows him the prison where the Watchers are being held. Enoch describes what he sees. He speaks of a deep pit with pillars of heavenly fire, a place where there was no firmament of heaven above and no firmly founded earth beneath. He continues, neither water nor birds, only a place waste and horrible. 7 stars, like great burning mountains, chained and bound together, cast into the abyss. The prison, Enoch writes, sits at the edge of the earth, cold, sealed, guarded by angels, and the Watchers imprisoned there will remain bound until the day of judgment. For centuries, this description was considered symbolic, a vision, something that could never be located on any real map. Until, in the year 1820, the last continent on Earth was finally discovered: Antarctica. The only place on the planet that literally sits at the ends of every map, frozen solid, impossible to enter without permission from a rare international treaty, and containing something buried under 4 kilometers of ice that we have barely begun to explore. Some modern researchers began drawing parallels. Enoch's prison, they argued, matched Antarctica almost line for line. The frozen ends of the earth, the waste and horrible landscape, the absence of water and birds in any usable form. They also point to unusual facts: the sealed status of Antarctica under the 1959 International Treaty, restricted airspace, missing expedition members, the fact that no single country truly owns it. Skeptics respond that Enoch's descriptions are symbolic and vague, and could apply to almost any harsh landscape. But believers argue that no other place on Earth fits every detail, and the ice, they say, could still be hiding what was sealed underneath it. The Book of Enoch was accepted by the earliest Christian communities. Origen, Tertullian, Clement of Alexandria, all quoted it as scripture. Then, over the 4th and 5th centuries, it disappeared from the Western canon. The historical explanation is simple. Church councils excluded it because its content was too strange, too apocalyptic, and its authorship was disputed. It survived only inside the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, hidden from the rest of the world for over 1,000 years. But some argue the removal was not innocent. Enoch does not describe a metaphor. It describes a location. And if that location is real, then everything the Watchers taught humans and everything they left behind might still be waiting under the ice. An ancient text banned from the Bible, a prison at the ends of the earth, fallen beings sealed under ice, and a continent we still are not fully allowed to explore. Whether the connection is real, coincidence, or invented is something you can decide for yourself. If this journey blew your mind, hit the like button and tell me in the comments what you believe. And subscribe to the world's weirdest for more impossible places, hidden histories, and secrets buried under the ice. See you at the next strange corner of the planet.